Venetian, $400 Superstack, one-day event. Turbo structure, a lot of chips, a lot of action, a lot of money for us to win.
Remember, players, you have up until the...
With blinds at 100, 200, 25 ante, there's an early position raise to 550, a call, and we look down at pocket tens in the cutoff. We elect to make it 2,000 chips to play. The button flat calls, and the two other people in the pot call also, so we're 4 ways to the flop. The flop comes 10, 6, 5, 2 spades. I would have to say that this flop is rather favorable. Checks to me, I bet 3,000. The button calls and the original raiser calls. The fourth guy folds. We're now 3 ways to a turn. The turn is an innocuous queen of hearts. Original guy checks, and it's on us. We have a pot-sized bet left, but since we block a lot of top pairs, I feel like it's best to induce and give the wrong price to flush draws and other hands that have very low equity. So we bet approximately 1/3 of our stack, 6,500 chips. The button makes it 16,500. And the original opener tank folds. We call off our remaining stack of about 10,000 chips. We show our middle set, and the button has Queen Jack of diamonds. He's drawing dead. The third player who folded on the turn claimed he had a flush draw. The 3 of spades hits the river. We got the winner out, and we doubled through the guy drawing dead. $45,000 going to 300 big blind, 18,000 starting stack. Feels good to hit top set and get paid. Let's go. With blinds at 150 and 300, there's a limp for 300. We make it 1,000 on the button, and the small blind quickly makes it 6,000 chips to go. They have 13,000 chips back, so we flat call and see a flop. The flop brings 7-4 deuce. He snap jams his 13,000 in the pot. We call. He shows us pocket kings. We fade his 2 outs, and we win a 40,000 chip pot. Coolering, aces versus kings. With blinds at 150, 300, there's an early position limp. We're in middle position with ace king of diamonds. We make it 1,100. The button flat calls 1,100, and we're heads up to the flop. The flop comes queen, jack, 5, 1 diamond. We c-bet 1,700 chips. The button calls. The turn pairs the board with a 5 of diamonds. Our opponent has approximately 24,000 behind. I put him on king queen, ace jack, king jack type of hand, maybe 9-10, king 10. Instead of barreling the turn, I think the stack set up nicely for a big turn check rip. We have great equity when called, and his range is very capped at this point. And I don't think there's many hands that he'll be able to even call our jam with, as I think he would 3-bet jacks or queens pre, and there isn't many 5X's in his range. We block aces and kings, so that makes those hands even more unlikely. We check it to the button. He bets 3,000, leaving himself with 21,000 behind. We have approximately 55,000 behind, so we jam all in with 2 overs, nut straight draw, and flush draw. He takes about 5 seconds and calls with 2 black kings. The river is an offsuit 7, and we lose a 55,000 chip pot as we brick. With blinds at 3 and 600, under the gun makes it 1,400 to go. We're under the gun +1, and we take the aggressive action, 3-betting to 3,500 with King Jack of diamonds. A middle position player calls, and the under the gun player calls when we're off to a flop. The flop is Ace, 7, 6, 1 diamond. This flop is good for us as our range favors ace-high boards in this situation. Under the gun checks, we bet 4,200. Middle position calls, and under the gun calls. At this point, I'm definitely putting one of them on an ace, maybe both of them, but probably not ace-king, ace-queen, which we can represent harder than them. And of course, not pocket aces. The turn brings a deuce of diamonds. We pick up the nut flush draw, and it's the perfect card to continue our barreling and hope for an optimistic folding of both of their aces as they are outkicked in a 3-way pot facing aggressive action. Under the gun checks, we bet 11,500. Mid position tanks, looks at his hand about 5 times before being disgusted and folding. Under the gun has 23,000 and he goes all in, so it's a min-raise for us to call. We're about 4-1 to hit our flush, and we're getting way more than 4-1 pot odds, so we make the call. They have pocket 7s for a set. We do not hit a diamond on the river, and we lose a huge pot, but we're still in it. We got it up to 60,000. Then we got caught bluffing a lot. We're down to 25,000, going to 1,200 big blind. We're gonna find some good squeeze spots, jam spots, marginal value spots. And we are out. Shove 14 blinds from early to middle position with Jack 10 offsuit. Pretty thin, pretty marginal, but the blinds are going up the very next hand to 1,600. Felt like a good spot. Get called by ace king. Queen 8-6 flop. Ace turn. Brick river, and we are out of the Venetian 400 Superstack one-day event. Luckily, we busted at 5 o'clock, so we get to enjoy some rush hour traffic on our way home on the drive of shame. One of the perks of busting right before dinner break. Tournament poker. The stats listed below are number of hands, VPIP, PFR, and 3-bet percentages. We have Jenna Fox here.
Hi.